Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar. I'm going to give it another couple of minutes. This is a live webinar, but I'm going to give, my name's Mike Quirk. I'm the Executive Director of Independent Living here at the Overlook. I'm going to give another couple minutes for our guests, attendees to log on and join us. It's 11 o'clock now, so we'll give a couple more minutes for people to join. A couple of housekeeping items or things to note. We're placing the participants on mute in order to run a smooth webinar process without disruption. And we are taking questions. We hope that you'll ask any questions that you do have through the chat room, which you'll see if you hover over the bottom of your screen on the Zoom meeting. There's a chat room to be able to ask questions or a Q&A. And if we'll get to whatever questions we can at the end of the webinar, and the ones that we cannot get to, we will be able to have our sales advisors, who I'll introduce in a couple of minutes. We'll have our sales advisors from the Overlook, Mariah and or Nora, will be able to answer those questions moving forward, and they'll follow up after. So we're going to give it a couple minutes and we'll get started. And for those of you who may be just logging on, again, we're going to give it a minute or so and we'll get started. Again, Mike Quirk from the Overlook, Executive Director of Independent Living. Thank you very much for joining our live webinar today. All right, it's 11:03, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully anyone who is going to be joining can join along as we go. Again, I'm Mike Quirk. I'm the Executive Director here at Independent Living at the Overlook campus in Charlton, continuing care retirement community. And as I noted at the outset, we have muted all participants so that we can run a smooth live webinar here. And if you have questions, please access the chat room or the Q&A on your Zoom meeting, and you'll be able to log your questions. If we'll get to whatever we can at the end. If we can't get to your question, then we'll have our sales advisors follow up with you after, and they'll be able to answer whatever questions you may have. Again, welcome to this live webinar. We're here today in hopes of providing information that will ideally be helpful for you as you consider your living situation now and moving forward. We feel as though there's never been a better time from an asset preservation and maximizing equity perspective to move into a community like ours, to sell your home and to move into a community such as the Overlook, continuing care retirement community. That being said, we will cover a few different topics today. We have Michelle Terry from the Michelle Terry team at Exit Real Estate, who's here to talk about the real estate market and the opportunity to sell your primary residence or sell real estate in the current market. I'm going to talk a little bit more about our living options after Michelle and sort of link the two together and why this is such a good opportunity. And again, I commend you all for participating today and trying to learn more about the situation. And again, we're here to hopefully be helpful as a resource for information. That being said, I'm going to hand off to Michelle Terry from Exit Real Estate. Michelle?
Hi, everybody. Again, it's Michelle Terry from Exit Real Estate Executives. I am from Central Massachusetts, and our team covers the entire state of Massachusetts. We have been seeing a lot of good things in the market today. The market has been incredible for sellers, and we're seeing a lot of growth for sellers, and I have some information here to go over those statistics with you. So as you can see on my screen here, the top box represents the entire state of Massachusetts. And we have been seeing in 2020, there have been 58,426 homes sold across the state of Massachusetts last year. And this year, the number that you see next to that represents the first quarter of 2021. So the first quarter across the entire state, we have seen 9,788 sales so far, which represents a 3.8% increase. Across the entire state of Massachusetts, the median sales price last year was $406,000. And this year, based on Q1, is $470,000. So we have seen across the state a 15.8% increase in equity, so price increases. Days on the market. Last year through the year, there was an average of 61 days on the market. And this year, we have an average in Q1 of 36 days on the market. So homes are staying on the market 41% less time than they did last year. And across the entire state of Massachusetts, last year, 63,680 homes were listed in the entire state. And for Q1, you see that the entire state, we've had 12,409 homes introduced to the market. Now, that's 16.6% less homes introduced this year in Q1 than we've seen last year. There's a lot less inventory, which is actually driving the prices up. So we've taken some of those statistics and we've really honed in just on central Massachusetts, which is what you'll see in the bottom box. In central Massachusetts, last year in Q1, we've seen 1,988 homes sell, and in Q1 this year, 1,946. So 2.1% less sales, which is all tied into the inventory. And also in central Massachusetts, you see that last year, our prices, median price was $304,000, $304,950. And this year, we have seen a 17.5% increase in pricing just in central Massachusetts, and our median price is $358,250. I have actually never seen the numbers that high here in central Massachusetts. Days on market. Last year, Q1, we've seen an average of 66 days on the market, and this year it's 38 days on the market. So again, 42.4% less time spent on the market this year. Homes are selling super quickly. We have here in Central Mass, we have seen 2,840 listings last year in Q1, and this year it's 2,694 homes were listed on the market, 5.1% less inventory than what we've seen last year. Now, so what we're seeing in the market today is we have an absorption rate of 1.3 months. And what that means is we have 1.3 months, if no other homes were listed for sale, to be able to satisfy everybody in the state, it would take us 1.3 months of listing inventory. So this is really representing a seller's market. We need to have 5 to 7 months of listing inventory for it to be a fair, balanced market. So as you can see right now, it's completely a seller's market. It's a great time to sell your home. We've been seeing homes selling very quickly, and we've been seeing many, many homes, if they're marketed correctly, receiving multiple offers and selling for more than the asking prices. So I do want to take a minute and talk to you about how we come up with values and what that process would look like for you. So whether it's me or another agent, typically the agent will make an appointment with you to come and take a look at your home. And prior to that appointment being made, we would typically pull data from the local assessor's office, and we bring that with us, and we would review that data with you to make sure it's true and accurate. We would then take a tour of your home, and I usually will ask you if you can tell me any upgrades that you may have made or things that may not be obvious to me. Like some people have heated floors, and I wouldn't know that unless you shared that information, and any other improvements that you may have made over time. So I would be taking a lot of notes as we're walking through. And at that point in time, I can answer any questions that you may have about the process. Like how do we go about getting the home on the market? This initial appointment usually takes between 30 and 60 minutes. And of course, will take as much time as you need. We want to make sure that all of those initial questions are answered while we're there at that first visit with you. So after that first visit is completed, I would usually take that information back to the office, and I'm going to really spend a lot of time looking at the market data for your specific neighborhood. And I'm going to put together a nice report for you, which is going to show you pictures of comparable sales. You'll have a lot of charts and graphs to show you in your specific neighborhood exactly how many days should we expect to be on the market, and what is the list versus sale price. Again, many people are getting even more than what the house is listed for on the market because the prices just keep creeping up. And so I would have that report ready for you within 1 to 2 days. And it's usually about 35 to 40 pages of data information. And you'll have a recommended price range in that report. After we're all done with getting the report ready for you, I can certainly email you a copy and call you and let you know that I'm completed. But a lot of people like me to come back and sit down and go through this report with you so that we can really talk about the comparable properties and what we should expect out of the real estate market. And I'm super happy to do that as well. So to give you an idea of the market today. So first of all, I've been in this market area for 24 years. I have never, ever seen the prices the way they are today or the properties moving as quickly as they are. With the rise in equity, people are seeing a lot more money this year for their homes than what they would have expected to get last year. So one of the campaigns that I've been running is a "We Do More So You Can Get More" campaign. You may see that in the local market. It's really important today with buyers having the internet at their fingertips. They're going to the internet to get all the information on homes that have been listed, and there's many search sites that they use. So we want to make sure your house looks fantastic to be introduced to the market. Some of the things that my team does to get a home ready for sale is we offer a home staging service for you. We cover this expense, and it's called a home staging walk and talk. We bring a home stager in. They don't bring you furniture. They're really looking to make your home, present the best it can with the things that you have there. This appointment, the home stager that comes in, she'll help you box up little knickknacks and get things off the countertop so that your house will look really good prior to the photography. So we bring in professional photographers. We bring in a video team. So this is actually really important. It's something that's been super helpful through the COVID times. So we bring a team in, and they'll prepare for you a 3D video tour of the home where buyers can see this video tour on the multiple listing service or on any website, and they can use their finger and click on these links to actually do a virtual walkthrough of your home. We also prepare floor plans. It's important today where people want to plan where the furniture will go and how big are the rooms. All of that's going to be on the floor plans that we put together. The next thing I have here on my list is home warranties. So we have a service that we work with where we can provide a home warranty to buyers on your home. Now, today buyers are being so much more forgiving when a home might need a little bit of work. If your furnace is older or you have an appliance that's just not operating correctly. If we provide a home warranty, which I can help you with, the buyers feel really comfortable with some of those older mechanicals of the house. So they would be covered for the first year of owning the home, and that might give them peace of mind on, working with systems that might be a little bit older. Marketing. So I have a marketing team that works directly for me in the office, and they're constantly working on marketing pieces, whether it be large glossy postcards or newspaper articles. So we, there's a lot of internet marketing that we have to do today to really get your home in front of a lot of people. We are also really big on open houses. We do those with taking into consideration all the COVID restrictions. And I know that Massachusetts will be lifting our mask mandate very soon, and we'll continue to be really careful in the homes. We bring Lysol wipes and wipe everything down. We bring booties and gloves for people to wear. And of course, we've been using masks as well. So we're very careful with that. We want to keep everybody as safe as we can. So we have many more areas that we market your home, and I'm very happy to talk to you about all of that. Again, if we do more, we can definitely bring you higher offers. So I'm happy to talk to anybody about some questions that they may have, and you can use your chat box if at the end of the webinar to ask any specific questions that you may have now. Thank you very much for listening to our marketing updates. And I'm going to give you back to Mike so we can talk to you a little bit more about the Overlook.
Thanks, Michelle. Michelle's worked with many of our residents, current residents, and is working with some of our prospects now, and is a great resource as it relates to the real estate market. So thank you again for that insightful information about the current market and the opportunities it's presenting for sellers. As I mentioned at the outset, we're now going to talk a little bit about the transitional elements of selling your real estate, and then how it becomes an opportunity, or can become an opportunity for you here at the Overlook. The Overlook is a continuing care retirement community set in Charlton, Massachusetts. And continuing care retirement community, there's a lot to learn about these types of things. And again, our sales advisors will be able to help educate you and guide you as you learn more. But a continuing care retirement community essentially means that you have independent living opportunities, retirement living, we have enhanced living and assisted living memory care here on campus for enhanced levels of care. We also have skilled nursing and rehabilitation here on campus. And we also have a VNA, or Visiting Nurses Association, which travels into people's homes, including offering rehabilitation, skilled nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy for our residents who have apartments here, as you might need those services. So the bottom line is there's an opportunity to live independently and have critical healthcare resources at your fingertips available to you when you need them. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to leverage this opportunity in order to take advantage of, again, the opportunity to get those services when you need them. We've been voted, you'll see the slide that's up there now, we've been voted best retirement community by Worcester Telegram and Gazette 4 years in a row. So out of the senior living communities throughout central Massachusetts, we've been voted the best for 4 years running, and we're really proud of that. As a quick snapshot of our campus, you can see that we're set here on 400 acres, which is, again, a really unique opportunity here in Charlton that is not always presented in more densely populated areas. It's really picturesque and a great opportunity to live a high quality of life with a lot of those types of amenities that are offered by a tranquil setting like this. Contract options. There's a couple of main avenues for contract options as it relates to moving in on the independent living side, and also as it relates to future healthcare needs. The fee-for-service contract is a fee. You pay a fee monthly. You pay a reduced entry fee deposit on the front end. There are a couple of different options on the refund amounts. They're reduced. The less money that is refunded, the more the entry fee deposit is reduced. But back to the fee for service element, you pay fee for services as you get them. And by services, I mean your housekeeping services that are included, maintenance and upkeep services that are included, IT services that are included, concierge services that are included, our fitness center, our culinary and dining options, flexible spend system is also included. So those are the types of services, not all of them, but examples of services that you are privy to when you opt for a fee-for-service contract. It's sort of a pay as you go. The other option or avenue that I mentioned that is highlighted on the screen is the life care agreement or the life care contract. Now, the life care contract, differently than the fee-for-service, includes all of the services that I just mentioned, but there's also a prepaid medical expenses life care deposit in addition to the main entry fee deposit, and there's also a premium on monthly services. And that sounds like more money, but I'm actually going to talk about why there is great value in the life care agreement, which is unique to our campus versus some other options you may look at. It sort of runs in parallel, although it's not a long-term care insurance. It provides for services that you might need along the way related to enhanced living, which is much like assisted living, and long-term care, which is a skilled nursing needs in the future for a fixed amount. And we'll talk about that more specifically in a second. Now I'm going to tie together the real estate opportunity and the types of opportunities to sell high, as Michelle mentioned, sell in a seller's market, a strong market, to maximize the money or assets or equity that you can draw from your primary residence, and to buy low. So typical investment strategy, although I'm not an investment advisor, typical winning investment strategy is to sell high and buy low, right? We all know that. And I'm going to say in this case, that's going to help increase your net assets. And by net assets, I mean the money that you have to either make this work, meaning this living option, or to use for healthcare, or to use for legacy in the form of leaving for beneficiaries, which oftentimes people are looking forward to do, to leave something for the next generations of family members. And also, I'm going to talk a little bit about gaining efficiency and the streamlining of this process. Back to the sell high, buy low notion. It's a seller's market, as Michelle mentioned, and selling in the high market is oftentimes also means you're going to be buying into the high market if you had to go buy another primary residence. Now, the unique opportunity for folks looking to move into a continuing care retirement community or other option for retirement and future is that you get to sell high in a high market and then move into something, again, that's not necessarily low, is not the right term, but to buy something that's fixed or stable, meaning our entry fees are not growing at the same rate year over year that the real estate value market is. So you're gaining more and more real estate value, and you're in a high market to maximize real estate value on the sell side, and you're buying into something that's fixed and hopefully has great value for you in the form of being able to take care of your needs now and future healthcare needs. So the opportunity to gain that asset value out of your real estate and convert it into opportunities for future services and stretch it as far as you can is really a really great opportunity. And if you're downsizing, it's also an opportunity where some may not experience the same opportunity that you have an opportunity to capitalize on. On the seamless transition side, I did mention that Michelle's worked with many of our residents and current prospects, and we are here to, again, be a resource. Given that you're participating in this event and have shown interest in this type of setting, it means you're considering this setting. The next piece that a lot of prospects, people that we help get overwhelmed with is how do I get from where I'm at today to moving in there. Although I want to do this, there's a lot in between, seemingly a lot in between. And it could be, you know, overwhelming in some cases. Those logistics are often made easier by having a real estate team, relocation teams that we have access to, ourselves and Michelle, and an overlook team of sales advisors who can try to take some of the mystery out of it to help educate you, help you get prepared, and then also to help execute all the logistics that go into a significant move like this. We always appreciate and acknowledge that our folks moving in here may have been in a house for 10, 20, 30, even 50 years. And that can be, again, a seemingly overwhelming process. And so we're here to try to make that easier and help educate people along the way and help support. So our sales advisors are here to do that, who I'll introduce in a second. This gives you at least some idea of the pricing, although I do want to asterisk that there are a lot of different floor plans, as you'll see up here, and I'll take you through what the columns mean briefly. But the each model has different pricing. There's different pricing in some cases between different parts of the building or campus. So it's really, although you get a feel for the pricing here, I'd encourage you to look more specifically at your own unique situation and what the options are that best suit you. And our sales advisors are here to help guide on that, so you can get more specific on what your specific, the best suited option for you is. But if you look at the square feet, I'll take you from left to right on the columns. The one bedroom options here that you see are titled by, with the way that we label different floor plans. You've got square footage. You've got a 0% and an 85% refund as you move to the right in the middle columns. The 0% is the amount of refund on those entry fee deposits that you see. So the deposit is the number you see, and the 0% refund is in that column. The next column is an 85% refund. And then the monthly service fee is all the way to the right, including most of the services that I mentioned before, which are most of the services that are all inclusive of that monthly service fee. So it's really sort of a turnkey, all-inclusive model. And this is, again, we noted there were fee-for-service options and life care options earlier. These are our fee-for-service prices. So the monthly service fees on the right will have a premium on them for the life care pricing, just to prepare you for as you work with our sales advisors to look closer at your own options. And also there is additionally a $50,000 and $70,000 for a couple prepayment of life care future medical expenses added to the entry fees. But again, those are applied to your future medical expenses. So we'll look at that in a second. Some more of the pricing. These are 2 bedrooms. I'll just pause here for a second. You can glance at those. Again, I would encourage you to work with our sales advisors to find out which is the best option for you, and that'll come by discussion and touring and those kinds of things. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. So I really wanted to highlight this because it's impactful, and this is very real, the opportunity to preserve assets and to make your money go as far, the money that you just gained from selling in an up market and wisely selling in an up market and maximizing the value of your primary residence, which has served you for a lot of years, and converting that money into taking care of your needs effectively, efficiently, and really whatever the best option is and pathway is for you, whether it's to preserve assets or to pay a reduced entry fee, whatever the case is that you're trying to achieve. This will show you, though, how you can preserve assets through our life care model and our life care agreement. So to take you through this graphic, this table, for a single occupancy resident, and this makes some assumptions, it's only one example, one scenario, but if you look at based on single occupancy, so one person, the Overlook average monthly service fee for life care is $4,321. This is the left side column. assisted living cost per month is $7,050. And that's our enhanced living model. Monthly savings, therefore, to the right is $2,729 per month. Annualized, that's $32,748. So understanding that there is a greater deposit and a premium on your monthly service fee up front, this is where the gain is when you need to access healthcare services later in the form of enhanced living, and I'll show you in a second, long-term care as well. A couple of notes on the graph, you'll see at the bottom, the notes that the costs or savings shown above don't include long-term care insurance premiums or benefits. So if you have a separate long-term care policy or that kind of thing, unlike long-term care insurance, the Overlook Life Care program doesn't have limits or maximums on the length of benefit coverage. In other words, to best explain that, the easiest way to explain that is that Overlook monthly service fee, the $43.21, you pay in perpetuity, regardless of how much of the enhanced living or long-term care services that you might consume. Meaning whether you stay 1 or 2 or 3 years, there's no cap on the amount of benefits. The only caveat also is that the monthly service fee does increase with a cost of living increase for all residents each year, which is generally in the neighborhood of 3 to 3.5%. This doesn't include any interest or anything else that's gained on these assets either. It's just meant to show you the amount of value in the life care agreement. So you can see that the benefit or value in accessing or the access to long-term care as needed in the future greatly increases the amount of value on this contract. So in other words, you can see that same $43.21 to the left for Overlook average monthly service fee for life care agreements. And again, that's the average. As we noted before, there are varying prices on different models of apartments and cottages. The nursing home cost per month, and this is generally speaking in the neighborhood of all long-term care private pay, cost in the neighborhood of $15,000 to $17,000, $18,000 per month. That's when someone has assets and is not eligible for Medicaid. You can see the savings are therefore great and greater on this side of the coin as it relates to needing these services in the future. And annualized, that's $158,000, more than $150,000. So that's significant savings. The next slide will just show you how that's projected out. So again, to clarify here, if you stay 1 year, the 108, 148, as opposed to the 158, 148 you saw before, deducts the $50,000 life care entry fee, which is a prepayment toward this in the future. And then if you project out 2 years, 3 years, you can see where it's simple math, but the $158,000 continues to double and then triple if you should need, and none of us know what our healthcare future is going to look like. We understand that, but if you do need these services, there is great value in paying for them up front and along the way through the life care agreement. Hopefully all that was useful information. Again, we're trying to be helpful and enlighten you on your opportunities. Each journey is different for everybody. Each person's objectives on investment and how you proceed is your own. Therefore, we really make it personalized by teaming you up with our Overlook Sales team of sales advisors. So we've got on screen, you see Nora Kobaska, Mariah Dingy are here to help you. Their phone numbers are there, and they are experienced and ready to help you, whatever your journey may be. And again, this is a long-term relationship that we are forging with future residents, and so we really take the approach to be able to advise and help you through this process and ensure really that it works and that it makes sense for you prior, because it is a big commitment and we want to make sure that it's going to work now and from the future for you. So all that being said, we'll take a few questions. And again, as I mentioned at the outset, whatever we can't get to, we will be able to follow up with you. Mariah or Nora will be able to follow up with you after.
Mike, I see a couple questions in the chat box. And the first one I see is days on market. What exactly does that mean? So on the real estate market, days on the market means start to finish. So if we have an average of 39 days this year or in Q1, that means from the minute that we posted the listing to the active market to the closing day. So you may have had just a couple of days to go on deposit, and then we have to add on the time for the attorneys and the banks, the lenders to get the process completed. So days on the market is start from when we list to the time that we actually close. So hopefully that's helpful. The next question that I see here in the chat box is, my roof is not in the best of shape. Should I replace it before putting the home on the market? And what I would say to that is, when we are lacking inventory and you have many buyers out there looking for homes, it's a very, very competitive, for the buyers, they're going to be a lot more forgiving for homes that may need some work. So most buyers today, their objective is to find a house. So they're willing to take on additional work or updating that might need to be done. So I would say today that you don't want to miss the boat on the high sellers market. So for today, I would probably get the home on the market, and you will most likely have a buyer that's willing to take on those additional repairs. So I hope that's helpful.
Thanks, Michelle. I'm seeing a question pop up from a panelist, and I'm glad it was addressed. Again, we want to be respectful of everybody's time. If we can't get to everything, we will certainly have our sales advisors follow up, but this is a good one. It's about long-term care insurance. We do have long-term care insurance. Would you explain more the costs at Overlook, and as it relates to having the long-term care insurance? So the only trick to this question that I'll start with is that each long-term care insurance is uniquely different based on the underwriter, the individual, et cetera. So we'd want to be able to take a look at a long-term care policy and be able to more specifically guide you. But generally speaking, as I mentioned earlier, long-term care insurances, again, generally have different sorts of caps, limits on the amount of subsidy that they'll provide for long-term care. And this is one of the bigger differences that we often see. As I noted, the fixed cost that you pay per month under the life care agreement is paid in perpetuity. So it's a fixed cost and there's no additional reimbursement needed, meaning it's not capped. It provides the services for enhanced living and long-term care. And there are some caveats because it covers those services specifically. It does not cover private duty. For instance, if someone hires a private duty aide to come into the apartment or somewhere that you need assistance, those services are not specifically covered. And so there's more comparison to be done, certainly on an individual basis, between your long-term care insurance options and the long-term and the life care agreement. Some people do opt to go fee for service and keep their long-term care insurance. Some people opt to drop long-term care insurance and opt for the life care agreement. Some people have kept both. So it's really a unique and individual matter. And, it's not to be wishy-washy. It's a very unique process, unique to each individual. So that's, I think, a good opportunity to explore more and find out more about what your long-term care insurance policy offers specifically, and then how it compares to what's offered in the life care agreement. And certainly our sales advisors can help navigate on your specific situation. But thank you very much for the question. Another question was, you mentioned transition resources, help with moving. What are some of the specific services? What are the costs of memory care? Should it be needed? So there's a couple of different questions there. The services as it relates to moving and resources that we've used companies or specific resources to help, for instance, pack up, lay out your new space, and be able to help you with both of those processes. And we've got multiple resources. Between Michelle and us, we both have resources we can recommend in that area. And those services will help you on one end to pack up and on this end to move in. Some of them are extremely turnkey and dynamic services. The cost varies based on your specific situation, so you'd want to look at it again, unique to your situation, the amount of space and things that you have to pack up and all of that. But we can certainly recommend, again, that's a very unique person-to-person type of situation that we can help you with, help you navigate anyway. And what are the costs of memory care? So the base cost of memory care is what we had up there. Currently for the 7,000, it's about $7,000 to $7,200 per month. Currently, those were the 2020 numbers that we had up on the screen earlier. But as we move forward, generally speaking, it's between $7,000 and $7,200 as a base price, and memory care has additional costs based on care needs as they progress. And again, that's something that if you have further questions on, we can certainly apply it to your specific situation. Well, there's a couple other questions, but again, we want to be respectful of time. We're almost at the 11:45. I'd really like to thank everyone for joining us today. We really hope, again, our objective was to make this insightful and educational. Hopefully it helped you understand what the opportunity looks like, generally speaking, in the real estate market right now, and then a little bit more about what the move looks like on this end, and as it relates to financial preservation, asset preservation, and how you can make this move work for you at this point. There's a lot more to explore and learn, and that's why our sales advisors are here to guide people along the way. It's a decision-making process and not just a snap decision at a point in time. We really appreciate that. And so we're here to guide you. Again, thank you very much for your time. Thanks to Michelle for presenting. Thanks to Nora and Mariah for being available. And thank you to Danielle Darger, who's our Director of Sales and Marketing, and is also available to support Mariah, Nora, and your needs as you travel through the process.
Thank you, everybody.